How to be the best McDonald's employee. So, you want to be the best McDonald's employee? The undisputed fry sultan, the grillmaster general, the Picasso of paper hats. Well, strap in, apron up, and prepare to kiss mediocrity goodbye, because we're about to turn your minimum wage hustle into Michelin-starred warfare. Forget what you've been told, this ain't just a job. This is a calling. A battlefield of grease, time pressure, and customer insanity. And you're here to rise above it all. Now, let's clear something up before we start. Being the best McDonald's employee doesn't mean just surviving the chaos. No. It means dominating it. Turning every beep of the fryer into a drumbeat of destiny. You'll need speed, style, and just a touch of masochism. Because no one, and I mean no one, makes it to the top of the golden arches by playing it safe. First, let's talk attitude. The best employees walk in like they own the place, even if they still live with their moms and can't afford a second pair of work shoes. They greet that opening shift like it's a TED Talk on legacy building. Most people clock in and pray for death by drive-thru. But not you. You clock in and see opportunity. Each Egg McMuffin? A masterpiece. Each large fry? A crunchy monument to consistency. Each customer complaint? A chance to weaponize charisma and turn fury into 5-star reviews. Let's address the elephant in the freezer. Yes, it's McDonald's. No, it's not Google. You don't get free massages and beanbag chairs, but what you do get is a chance to build work ethic so legendary it could train Navy SEALs. You get fast hands, thick skin, and a black belt in multitasking. Who else can pour drinks, bag meals, upsell desserts, and take insults from Karen with a smile, all in 90 seconds or less? Now, before we break down the step-by-step to greatness, let's honor the OGs. Who was the best McDonald's employee before you showed up? Let's take a moment to recognize a legend, Rick from Topeka. That man flipped burgers so fast, they thought the grill was glitching. He could prep a McChicken blindfolded and once cleaned an entire dining room with nothing but a napkin and a grudge. He's a myth, a whisper in the break room. Some say he left to run his own franchise. Others say he ascended directly into the hamburger's heaven. Either way, you're here to surpass him. Not just become the next Rick, but the Rick plus plus. Let's break it down. Becoming the best starts with the holy trinity of frontline dominance, speed, accuracy, and vibe. Speed isn't about panicking, it's about knowing the rhythm of the shift. Every McDonald's kitchen has its own tempo, like a jazz band of chaos. The grill sizzles. The fryer beeps. The headset crackles. You've got to learn the flow and move with it. Hesitation is the enemy. You'll never reach God-tier status with slow tongues and a confused stare. You must become a blur in khakis. Anticipate the next order. Predict the soda choice before the words leave the customer's lips. Feel the surge before it hits. Accuracy is your silent flex. No one notices until it's gone. Get that order wrong and the whole symphony collapses into rage and refunds. But when you're precise? When every cheeseburger has the perfect pickle placement and every order number matches the bag? That's when you're more than just a worker, you're a food ninja. You're the reason someone's hangover day got 2% better. Be the reason they don't scream into Yelp. Now, the third element, vibe. This is where greatness gets interesting. Vibe is how you carry yourself. It's your swagger behind the register. You're no problem when the soda machine floods. Your unbreakable smile when someone yells that their fries are cold, even though they were literally cooked 7 seconds ago. The best employees radiate calm, collected power. They don't just do the job. They run the floor. They walk past the ice cream machine like they know the real reason it's always broken, and they're okay with it. Let's move to the battleground, the stations. You must master each one like it's a Mortal Kombat character. Fry station, grill, register, drive-thru, lobby. Each has its own challenges, each a rite of passage. The fry station. This is your dojo of discipline. The oil doesn't care about your mood. It bubbles, it burns, and it waits for no one. Perfect fries require zen. Too long and you've got crisp death. Too short and it's limp sadness. You want golden excellence, every time. The fry station tests your patience, your timing, and your ability to not eat half the batch mid-shift. The grill. Ah yes, the meat throne. Here, you become a symphony conductor of patties. You learn to multitask like a caffeinated octopus. The timer beeps. The spatula flips. The lettuce falls just right. You'll find yourself dreaming of searing beef and perfectly stacked buns. The grill teaches you precision, rhythm, and a deep, sweaty respect for heat management. Drive-through. This is where legends are made and souls are crushed. You wear a headset and become part-time therapist, order interpreter, and voice actor. Welcome to McDonald's, how can I make your day better? You say it 400 times. With enthusiasm. Or fake enthusiasm so good it deserves an Emmy. Here, you'll deal with everyone, from the hungover college kid to the soccer mom with a van full of screaming goblins. The key is efficiency. Stack the orders, confirm with speed, hand off the bags like a magician. Smile, even when they don't. Especially when they don't. Register. This is the charm offensive. The face of the empire. You've got to upsell without sounding like a robot. Would you like to add an apple pie for just $1? It's not just a script, it's a moment. Lock eyes. Smile? Let the power of the upsell course through your veins. Cashiers are the knights of the front line. They manage mood, expectations, and money, all while dodging social anxiety like a dodgeball pro. Lobby. Now, this one. It's often overlooked, but make no mistake, cleaning the lobby is your chance to become a silent guardian. A janitorial ninja. You notice spills before they happen. You sweep with elegance. Wipe tables like you're painting the Sistine Chapel. Every trash bag you tie off is one step closer to enlightenment. Why? Because people notice clean. They respect it. They might not thank you, but they'll remember. Now let's talk hierarchy. The pecking order at McDonald's is less corporate ladder, more gladiator arena. You start as a crew member, yes. But from there? Shift lead. Department manager. Assistant manager. Store manager. Franchise owner. The climb is real. You think this job is a dead end? Wrong? McDonald's has created more millionaires than your average startup. Own a franchise and you could be pulling in 6 or 7 figures annually. You're not just working a register. You're learning an empire from the inside. And let's be clear, you're getting paid to train. Most people go into debt for 4 years to sit in a lecture hall. You're building skill sets, fast decision making, team coordination, problem solving under pressure, all while collecting a paycheck and drinking unlimited high-C orange levee burst. You're basically in a real-life RPG, leveling up shift by shift. Each shift is XP. Each angry customer is a boss fight. Each sandwich is a side quest. But you want to be more than just good. You want to be the best. That takes vision. You've got to treat the job like your dojo. Show up early. Learn every station. Watch how the manager handles rushes. Learn inventory. Ask questions. Be curious. Ask if you can stock the freezer. Learn how to schedule shifts. That's how you go from crew to commander. And don't sleep on the soft power. Being the best means you're also the one people want to work with. You bring good energy. You're not the guy moping in the corner or hiding in the freezer pretending to be counting chicken nuggets. You're the vibe captain. The glue. The reason Karen on night shift didn't quit last week. The best McDonald's employee isn't just technically skilled, they're emotionally intelligent. They know when to joke, when to hustle, and when to just hand someone a free apple pie because they really needed it. You want to talk money? Let's talk money. Entry-level pay might not sound like much, but this job comes with perks. Free meals. Flexible hours. And if you play your cards right and climb that management ladder, you could be banking $50K, $100K a year. Multiply that by 5 stores. Now you're living. That's not even including franchise ownership. That's millionaire territory. The golden arches aren't just a logo, they're an invitation to level up your life. And let's be real, when the economy tanks, when robots take over, when AI writes every resume in existence, guess what won't disappear? The need for fast food mastery. Because as long as humans crave fries at 2 a.m., McDonald's will stand strong. And someone's gotta run that show. Why not you? Let's address the golden grease-covered elephant in the room, the customers. Yes, those glorious, chaotic, emotionally unpredictable beings whose cravings fuel your empire and whose tantrums test your resolve. Learning to deal with customers, truly deal with them, is like being a psychologist, a stand-up comedian, and a crisis negotiator all rolled into one. The best employees know this: customers don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. Your job isn't just to serve food, it's to serve energy. Some people pull into the drive-thru running on fumes and regrets. They've been yelled at by their boss, ghosted by their hinge date, and all they want is a 10-piece nugget to dull the ache of existence. You give them that comfort. That crispy, golden salvation. You say, "My pleasure," like it's the gospel. And boom, now you're their fast food messiah. But not every customer is soft and needy. Oh no. Some are forged in the fires of Yelp. The complainers. The cussers. The "this burger's cold but I ate 87% of it anyway" types. These are your true tests. You stay calm. You smile like you've been meditating with monks. You refund what needs to be refunded. And when they leave, you keep that same energy. Because the best employees never let one angry Karen steal their fry-side joy. In fact, you'll develop emotional calluses. A spiritual armor. Someone could be screaming at you about their McFlurry mix-in ratio and you'll just be vibing, swirling the spoon, singing a TikTok sound in your head. Not because you're numb, but because you're elevated. They're playing checkers. You're playing chess with hash browns. Now let's talk about your coworkers. Because you're not alone in the trenches. You've got your day one homies, your drama magnets, your ghost shift no-shows, your clock in but never help types. Managing them is a skill. The best McDonald's employee doesn't just master the machines, they master team dynamics. You've got to know who you can count on when it hits the fan. Who can handle the morning rush? Who folds under pressure like a wet napkin? And more importantly, how to lead without a title. The unofficial shift captain. The morale booster. The one who steps up when the manager mysteriously disappears for inventory but is actually chain smoking in the alley behind the dumpster. You know the type. And yes, every job has that one guy. The one who never stocks sauce packets. The one who microwaves filet-o-fish buns for too long and then denies it. The one who thinks mopping means aggressively dragging a wet rag around while scrolling Instagram. You could get mad. You could complain. Or, you could be the antidote. The standard bearer. Because when you're the best, your job isn't just to perform, it's to elevate the room. Speaking of elevation, let's discuss personal branding. That's right. Your personal fast food brand. You're not just an employee. You're a character in the story of that McDonald's. You want people to say, "Oh, it's Alex today. Nice, they run that shift like it's a military operation with fries." Be known. Be respected. Be unmistakable. Have a signature move. Maybe it's the fastest Happy Meal assembly this side of the Mississippi. Maybe you know every customer by name and you memorize their orders. Maybe your iced coffee game is so on point they call you the Bean Whisperer. Whatever it is, own it. Cultivate a legend. And while we're on the subject of making yourself unforgettable, appearance matters. No, not in a shallow way. We're talking about professional drip. Keep that uniform clean. Break in your visor just right. Tuck in the shirt like you're about to make $1 billion presentation. Don't let your apron look like a Jackson Pollock painting of ketchup and despair. You want to walk in like you were running for shift president every day. Why? Because energy is contagious, and appearance is the first handshake before you even open your mouth. But let's not forget the most important part of the McDonald's life cycle, the rush. Ah yes, the surge. The crucible. The 12 p.m. lunch madness or the midnight drunk apocalypse. Orders flying in. Nuggets running low. Milkshake machines humming with passive aggression. This is where legends are made. This is where your training shows. During the rush, everything slows down for the best. Like Neo dodging bullets in the Matrix, you move through chaos with godlike efficiency. You don't panic. You prioritize. 2 orders of 20-piece nuggets? Cool? A McDouble with no pickle but add mayo and onion. Easy? Ice cream machine broken. Already explained it 3 times. You are a rush sorcerer, casting spells of calm while others melt. And if your coworkers are spiraling, you don't yell, you lead. You delegate. You double-check bags. You remind the new guy where the hash browns are kept. You make it look easy even when it's anything but. Because that's what being the best means, rising in the heat while everyone else sweats their dignity out. Now let's pivot from tactics to strategy. Because yes, flipping burgers pays today, but what about tomorrow? Where does this road go? Well, for starters, McDonald's is one of the most well-oiled career pipelines in the food industry. You know how many franchise owners started on the floor? A lot. Many of them were once standing exactly where you are, wondering if life had more to offer than $6 combos and Sprite that hits like an electric slap. But they learned the system. They got promoted. They asked questions. They learned inventory, scheduling, food cost percentages, labor balancing, and customer service at a granular level. They showed up on time. They said yes to training. They took the boring online corporate modules seriously. And guess what? The corporation noticed. You want to win long term? Start learning your manager's job. Ask to help with the schedule. Volunteer to train new hires. Get certified in everything from food safety to fire safety. Become the go-to problem solver. Not the employee who needs managing, the one who reduces the manager's stress. That's how you get promoted, fast. And when you hit that assistant manager spot, that's when it gets real. You start making real money. You have power. Influence. Your decisions affect the whole crew. But don't get cocky. The best never stop learning. Because the higher you rise, the more people depend on your example. You've got to become a mentor now. A Yoda in black non-slip shoes. Eventually, if you play your cards right, you could be managing your own location. That's 6-figure territory. And if you really want to win, you buy in. That's right, franchise ownership. Start saving. Build credit. Network with existing owners. Learn the financial side. You'll need $500K plus to buy in, but the return? Enormous. Some franchisees make millions. And it all started with them cleaning up spilled ketchup in the Place ball pit. You want to make real money in McDonald's. You don't dream small. You don't complain about the headset or the rude customer. You learn the game, and then you win it. Let's talk about something people often ignore, mental toughness. Because yeah, you'll face burnout. There'll be days where the headset won't stop beeping and your soul wants to eat itself into the walk-in freezer. But the best don't collapse. They reframe. They understand that toughness isn't never feeling tired, it's showing up and doing the job anyway. You show up tired. You show up sore. You show up after a breakup or a flat tire or a ruined GPA, and you crush it. Because being the best isn't just physical. It's mental warfare. And that means taking care of yourself. Hydrate. Eat during your break. Stretch those fry-tensed wrists. Listen to music that hypes you up. Watch content that motivates you. Journal if you need to. process the madness, then go back out and dominate. You're not a machine. You're an athlete. And every shift is the Super Bowl of fast food. Act accordingly. One more thing, don't be ashamed of where you work. Fast food has unearned stigma. People love to mock it, right up until they're sobbing into a paper bag of fries because life kicked them in the teeth. McDonald's employees? We keep society fed. We are the heartbeat of hangover recovery. The fuel for road trips. The lifeline for busy parents, late-night stoners, broke college kids, and cross-country truckers. You are essential. You're not just anything. You're a fast food warrior. Own it. In fact, being the best means you become a sort of local legend. The kind of worker customers ask for. Hey, is Jamal working today? He always gets my order right. That's power. That's respect. And it's not limited to the uniform. People carry that reputation with them into whatever they do next. You think an employer doesn't notice when you say you rose from fry cook to team leader to shift manager? You think they don't respect that grind? They do. Because work ethic is transferable. Hustle translates. And even if you never stay forever, even if this is a stepping stone, make it your masterpiece. Because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. You want to be a CEO one day. Be the CEO of that register today. Be the Elon Musk of McFlurries. Be the Beyoncé of the breakfast shift. That's how the universe opens doors. Because here's the secret, there are no small roles. Only small mindsets. You either believe in excellence, or you don't. You either wake up and dominate whatever's in front of you, or you let it dominate you. And if you've read this far, you're not the second type. You're the storm. You're the vibe. You're the best McDonald's employee your location has ever seen. Now, let's talk about the grind behind the grind. Because being the best McDonald's employee isn't just about being great on the clock, it's about how you think off the clock. Your greatness doesn't start with the headset. It starts with your habits. And if you think success just magically appears when the shift starts, you're already down 10 points on the scoreboard. Let's start with something radical. Wake up with purpose. Not hit snooze 4 times and debate your existence in bed, but wake up like your alarm is the battle cry of destiny. You think Michael Jordan rolled out of bed at noon and showed up to the gym halfway through practice? No. The best prepare. That means you hydrate first thing. You plan your day. You don't just drift into work, you arrive like a general walking into war. Because when you treat your life like it matters, suddenly everything you do starts to sharpen. Next, let's talk money. Look, we both know entry-level fast food work isn't exactly yacht shopping salary. At first. But if you're smart with it, it's a seed. Let's do some math. If you're making $15 an hour full-time, that's around $2,400 per month before taxes. Now, most people blow that faster than a drive-through order on April 20th. But you're different. You're gonna live lean, stack cash, and play the long game. Start small. Open a high-yield savings account. Learn about investing. Watch YouTube videos on compound interest instead of whatever's trending on TikTok. Read The Richest Man in Babylon on your break instead of scrolling memes. Every dollar you save puts you closer to being the kind of person who doesn't need to ask for time off to buy new shoes, you just buy them and move on. Then take it further, build credit. No one tells fast food workers this, but it's the key to the kingdom. Get a secured card, pay it on time, never max it out. Use it for small stuff, gas, coffee, snacks, and pay it off weekly. Soon, your score climbs. And with good credit, doors open. You're not just a crew member anymore, you're someone who can get approved for a business loan, a car, or a small real estate play. And speaking of real estate, the founder of McDonald's didn't get rich selling burgers. He got rich owning the land they were sold on. Ray Kroc, baby. That's the OG level of thinking we're tapping into. He realized the real power wasn't in the grill, it was in the dirt underneath. So while you're working the register, you're studying real estate on the side. You're checking Zillow listings during your break. You're learning what an FHA loan is. You're becoming dangerous. But that's the external strategy. Let's talk internal warfare. Because you're gonna get tired. You're going to feel undervalued sometimes. You're going to ask, why am I working so hard for a company that doesn't even give me 20% off on milkshakes? And in those moments, the average person crumbles. But the best? They lean in harder. Here's the truth no one tells you, what you build inside yourself at McDonald's can never be taken away. You're learning grit, adaptability, speed under pressure. You're sharpening your timing, communication, problem solving. These are high value skills, not just for food service, but for life. For relationships. For entrepreneurship. For surviving an alien invasion if it ever comes to that. And speaking of invasions, let's talk about your side hustle mentality. The best employees know how to flip burgers and flip ideas. You've got downtime? You're learning skills. Maybe it's digital art. Maybe it's dropshipping. Maybe it's reselling vintage Happy Meal toys from 1998. You become a knowledge sponge. You find what makes your brain spark, and you chase it. Because here's the real flex, using McDonald's as a launch pad. You don't stay trapped in the mindset of this is all there is. You treat it like boot camp. Like training. And when your side hustle takes off, you leave not as a bitter ex-employee, but as a graduate. And everyone remembers you. Because you didn't just work at McDonald's. You crushed McDonald's. But maybe your destiny is within the system. That's cool too. Because the best aren't just looking for the exit, they're looking for ownership. Franchising is a real, scalable path. The company wants people who know the system from the inside. Who can run a store like it's a Fortune 500 company? If that's you, learn everything. Build your credit. Network. Start saving for that buy-in. Play Monopoly with actual properties. And don't think you have to do it alone. Network sideways. That kid on fries today might be your co-founder in 5 years. That shift lead who writes poetry might design your logo one day. You're not just surrounded by coworkers. You're surrounded by hidden titans. Learn people. Respect everyone. Treat every interaction like a possible partnership. That's how bosses move. Now let's lighten it up for a minute. Because greatness isn't all grind, it's also humor. And the best employees? They know how to make people laugh. To crack a joke in the middle of chaos. To turn sorry the ice cream machine is down again into a stand-up set worthy of Netflix. That charm. That vibe. It keeps the team together. It makes shifts faster. And it makes you unforgettable. You don't have to be a comedian, but a sense of humor is a survival tool. Especially when someone asks if the filet-o-fish is fresh caught. And let's not forget the ultimate test of employee strength, holiday shifts. Christmas Eve. Thanksgiving. The dark days between December 25th and New Year's where time melts and customers are either filled with childlike joy or homicidal rage. These shifts aren't for the weak. They are the Olympics of customer service. And when you crush them, you don't just get respect. You become legend. People will say your name in awe. Wait, you were on that Christmas shift in 2022 when the fry machine exploded and the power went out and a raccoon got into the lobby. And you'll just smile. Because you were built for that moment. And you made it through without crying in the walk-in even once. Let's get real for a second. You're going to have bad days. That's okay. Being the best doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you bounce back faster. You learn. You adapt. You don't let one rude customer or one off day define you. You take the L, learn the lesson, and come back harder. That's what makes champions. And champions? They're obsessed with legacy. That's right, legacy. Even in a place where the mascot is a giant clown in red shoes. What will they say about you when you leave? That you were fast? Sure? That you were clean? Hopefully. But more than that, did you change the place? Did you raise the bar? Did you make people better just by showing up? That's the final step in being the best. You make the job better than you found it. You leave behind systems. You teach the new guy how not to screw up the McChicken line. You mentor. You improve. And when you go, people feel it. And one day, when you're a business owner or creative or top-tier operator, and someone asks you where you learned to handle pressure, or lead a team, or deal with angry clients, you'll say it with pride, McDonald's. Not because it was easy, but because it was real. Because it taught you things no college lecture ever could. Because it made you hard, fast, focused, and funny. Because you didn't just work there. You mastered it. And when someone looks down on your past, you don't flinch. You look them dead in the eye and say, "Have you ever made 19 Big Macs in under 4 minutes while the headset was dying and a kid puked in the play place? No? Then sit down. Because now, you're built different. You're forged in fryer oil and powered by caffeine and spite. You know the value of hustle. The magic of mastery. The grind of greatness. And most importantly, you know that no matter where you go next, whether it's franchise ownership, Wall Street, or YouTube fame, you can outwork, outlast, and outserve anybody. And that's what makes you the best. Now that you've been forged in the deep fryer flames of wisdom, char-grilled with excellence, and seasoned with legendary sauce packets of insight, it's time we complete the final form. This isn't just about showing up. This is about showing out. You are now in the upper 1% of fast food humans. You've transcended from average crew member to golden arch alchemist. Let's talk legend making. Because being the best McDonald's employee means you don't just do the job, you become part of the lore. The stuff of whispered shift stories and group chat screenshots. Remember that guy who took 3 drive-through orders at once while fixing the soda machine with a twisty straw and a dream? Yeah. You become that guy. Every store has a moment. A moment of crisis. A moment where everything goes wrong. The delivery truck shows up late. The system crashes. Someone drops an entire tray of nuggets during a school bus rush. And when that moment comes, most freeze. But the best? They rise. You toss on your visor like a war helmet. You turn your headset volume up to God mode. You assign stations like a general planning a siege. And suddenly, boom. Crisis averted. You're not just respected. You're feared, in the best way possible. Not because you yell. But because when things fall apart, you don't. But let's not stop there. The best doesn't plateau. The best innovates. That's right. You bring ideas. You start noticing patterns. You realize that if you pre-pack certain sauces during slow times, you crush the rush. You start building systems. You create a new way to organize condiments that shaves 3 seconds off each order. You suggest it to the manager. And guess what? Now you're shaping the culture. McDonald's is a system, but every system evolves. The best employees are entrepreneurs, innovators within the company. You don't wait for orders. You improve them. You notice when equipment could be cleaner. When time is wasted on unnecessary steps. When a sign could be clearer, a layout more efficient, a process less chaotic. And instead of keeping it to yourself, you bring it up. Calm. Cool. Solution-oriented. You become a walking Six Sigma belt wrapped in a paper hat. And let's talk respect. Not the fake corporate smile kind. Real respect. The kind that makes your coworkers want to pick up extra shifts when you're leading. The kind that makes your manager trust you to close, even when things get sketchy. The kind where people text you when they're running late, not the group chat, you. You don't get that by being a suck-up or trying to flex authority. You earn it by being consistent. That's the secret weapon. Anyone can have a good day. Few can have a good month. You do. You bring energy when no one else can. You don't call out unless you're bleeding or unconscious. You don't make a show of your efforts, you just get it done. And here's where the alchemy kicks in: once you're consistently excellent, life starts opening up. Because your habits bleed into other areas. You find yourself applying the same drive to your workouts, your side hustle, your relationships. You start walking like someone who can solve problems. And people feel that. They respect it. Maybe now you're managing shifts. Maybe you've trained 12 new hires. Maybe the store runs smoother when you're there. But here's what separates the best from the almost best: you document everything. You build a playbook. You write down what works, what doesn't. You could leave tomorrow, and the systems would still stand. You don't just make the store better, you leave a legacy system. And now you're dangerous. Because you have leverage. You can go to another store and run it better. You can walk into an interview and say, "I personally increased drive-through times by 17% in under 60 days by reorganizing the handoff system." You can start your own consulting side hustle teaching new franchisees how to manage staff, handle rushes, and increase ticket size. You've become weaponized excellence. Let's take it even further. Because when you've maxed out your McDonald's mastery, you don't stop. You mentor. You grab that shy new hire who's afraid to touch the grill and teach them how to dominate it. You show the kid who messes up register orders how to break it down and build confidence. You go from MVP to coach. You start creating other best employees. And that's where real power is. Not in what you can do alone, but in how many others you can elevate. You become the LeBron of McChickens. The Miyagi of McGriddles. You build a team so solid that shifts feel like symphonies, not battles. Now let's get existential. Because every job, every hustle, is also a mirror. It reflects who you are when no one's watching. And McDonald's, for all its chaos, is an unforgiving mirror. It shows your laziness, your fear, your attitude, your ability to handle people when they're hangry, rude, or just plain weird. But it also shows your potential. Because if you can dominate here, if you can lead a team of teenagers, maintain grace under pressure, and make the ice cream machine work against all odds, you can do anything. This is your dojo, your crucible, your test. And if you pass it, if you make it through the storm with discipline, leadership, and vision, you are unstoppable. Let's land this plane with a checklist. If you're aiming for legendary status, you should be able to say yes to all of these. You've mastered every station, fryer, grill, front counter, drive-through, and lobby. You show up early, leave late, and never whine about it. You've memorized the menu, prices, upsells, and secret hacks, like how to make a land, sea and air burger. You bring good energy to your coworkers, every shift. You've trained multiple new hires. You handle Karens like a kung fu monk with customer service skills. You've suggested improvements and they were actually used. You mentor others without being asked. Your manager relies on you like you're Batman. You have a 5-year plan, and McDonald's is part of it, not your prison sentence. If you're not there yet? Good. That means you've got fuel. And if you are there, then you're no longer a crew member. You're a mastermind. And guess what? The world is wide open for you. Franchise ownership, restaurant consulting, hospitality leadership, marketing for food brands, management, content creation. You think people don't want to watch a YouTube series on secrets from inside McDonald's? Or go wild and open your own truck, stand, ghost kitchen, or fusion concept? Because now you don't just have the dream, you've got the tools. Final truth bomb? The universe doesn't care where you start. It cares how you move. You could have been born rich or broke, smart or struggling. It doesn't matter. What matters is, you showed up to one of the most chaotic, fast-paced, emotionally demanding jobs in the world, and you chose to master it. You didn't just wear the uniform. You wore it with pride. You didn't just show up for a paycheck. You showed up to build character. You didn't just survive. You became the best. And when you leave, whether it's for a bigger title, a better paycheck, or a dream you're chasing, you leave as a different human. Sharper, stronger, focused, resilient. So wherever you go next, whatever you do, however you grow, may you never lose the flame that started behind that counter. The flame that said, "I'm not just here to serve fries. I'm here to serve excellence." And for that, we salute you, O Sultan of Sauce, Commander of Combos, Pharaoh of Fries. You are, and forever will be, the best McDonald's employee.